Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Smashi Sports Show. My name is Hisham, and I'm joined today by my co-host Abdul Majid.
How are you, Sham?
How are you?
I'm great.
Good. It's a Friday morning. It's 11:30. It's on the 7th of Feb. We have very exciting news, and we have a very busy weekend happening.
Yeah.
EDC.
EDC is coming.
EDC round 4.
You're all going to EDC?
Yeah, we have all our team ready. Already been up on the way to Abu Dhabi. EDC round 4, and it's the last round of season 2024-2025. Let me give you a recap. This is the second season for us to stream it on Smashi Sports, Smashi TV mainly. First round was at Liwa. It's at round 2, 3, and the upcoming round is round 4. It's happening at Yas Circuit Marina in Abu Dhabi. It's a very exciting tournament, and stay tuned with us for today's episode because we have one of the run-ups in the previous rounds here. Khalifa Falasi. He's a 16 years old drifter, and he is the youngest drifter in the Middle East. So stay tuned. Events happening on Saturday, tomorrow at 5 p.m. We also have our social team on ground making interviews and getting you close to your favorite car and favorite driver. Please send us your favorite driver that you want us to get close to and show you his car from inside, how he prepares, and a very quick interview with him. Let's move on to our first story of the day today. Marseille are reportedly interested in signing Laporte.
Yeah, Aymeric Laporte.
Well, Laporte, since he moved to Al Nassr, he's been performing very well.
Yeah.
He participated in the last Euros. He managed to win the trophy. He's moved from Manchester City to Al Nassr. Wasn't really a quite shock because he wasn't getting that much time play with the City, but he's a very good player. And it's what's really important about this headline, that you can see leagues having their eyes on trying to take players from the Saudi Pro League.
Yeah.
Do you know
Eventually, Saudi League is becoming a league where people have eyes on, and if they want some player, they look at it and they want that player. If he's performing good in Saudi League, that means he is he's performing well in one of the top 10 leagues in the world. So it's a sign now.
I think Saudi Arabia and the Saudi Russian Pro League is one of the top 5 leagues in the world, not the top 10, Majid. I'm sorry. But
No, but see, top 5 is always Europe. Obviously, now that Saudi is growing, in 1 or 2 years, most probably we'll see it as the top 6 or 7.
So who's your favorite number 1? Who's in your ranking? Number 1 is which
best league in the world?
Premier League.
Football-wise
football.
like overall?
Football.
Like good football, I would say La
Premier
Liga.
League, second.
La Liga, no.
La Liga first?
Yeah, I like the way the teams
Barcelona,
play.
Madrid, and Atletico Madrid.
I like the way they play football.
Second
Second is Premier League, obviously. Then
top 5.
Bundesliga.
And then Bundesliga.
French League, nah. PSG is...
So you said La Liga first.
La Liga,
Then Premier League second. Then...
Bundesliga, German Bundesliga.
Third. Who comes in fourth?
French League or...
I think the Portuguese league.
I would say... Yeah, they have created good players over there.
I would put the Saudi Pro League and then the Portuguese league. Look, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I'll tell you mine. So you have the Premier League top 5, Arsenal, Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool, and Chelsea. You got La Liga, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, and you got Ishbilia, Villarreal, other teams competing. These are the 3 teams. Okay, Bundesliga, it's not really a competitive league, to be honest. Bayern Munich, just like in the last 50 years, they won like 45 out of it. But they have good strength, they have good football, the community does. So I will take it the third. Serie A, like every year you just hear a team popping up, but when you go to Saudi Pro League now, you see Al Nassr, Al Hilal, Ittihad, Al Ahli. Like you've got 4 teams competing so hard.
If you see it from marketing
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
One question. Can Al Hilal go play in the Premier League?
No, not right now. They can be in the top 10. They may end up in the top 10.
So they won't be relegated.
Yeah, they won't be relegated. They will survive.
Yeah.
But they will survive.
So they
can't win it.
Can they play in La Liga? Al Ittihad. Benzema, Kanté.
Again, Saudi teams, yes, they can play and they won't be relegated, but they
I know
won't
you're talking
be able
about
to like
a full league.
perfect.
Because I see how I would say a good league is not based on a one team or two, because I don't really consider like La Liga one of the top 3 ones. Yeah, I might add Serie A because you would have AC Milan win it, then Inter, then Napoli last year. And
Yeah.
then I want to see a competitive league where 4 teams are eating each other.
Yeah.
That's
You
not
don't know till the last match who's going to win or something.
That's not in
right?
France.
Yeah.
That's not in Germany.
Yeah. Germany also, yeah. There's not. Dortmund, it's always Dortmund, Borussia Dortmund or the Bayern
I'm telling you,
Munich.
last 50 years, Bayern won it like 45 times.
Every time they won.
Like they win it. They won
It's
it like
funny. to
last
an
100
extent
years,
now.
like Bayern Munich won
Yeah.
the league like 90 times.
Yeah.
Not to that extent, obviously.
No, but Obama.
And I don't mean any disrespectful to the
Dortmund
other team.
Came from Dortmund, right?
But that's the scenario.
Oba came from Dortmund, right?
Who?
Aubameyang.
Aubameyang came
Yeah,
from
so Dortmund had a good run in between. But yeah, too much dominance by Bayern.
Yeah.
And La Liga, too much dominance by Real and Barcelona. But still, I like La Liga only because they try to keep the, what do you say, essence of football.
Yeah.
They play good, nice football. That's why I like La Liga more. Premier League is like, break his leg, don't let him score, open up his head. I want to see blood.
Draw the game,
It's like
yeah.
a wrestling match, more of that.
100%.
But La Liga is more pure footballish kind of
100%,
thing.
100%. Let's stay there and let's move on. Let's stay in the Premier League and let's move on to our second headline. We've been hearing this recently. Real Madrid are reportedly open to sell Rodrygo, and that won't be a headline related to us as Smashi Sports, but it's going to be related to us when we mentioned that Al Hilal has their eye on
Yeah,
Rodrygo. And to be honest, this kid, I feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
Because he's been performing very hard in the last couple of years. He's underrated. He's very skillful. He in the game, like he's that Brazilian kid that doesn't have the Brazilian attitude.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get it.
He's
no?
a nice kid. He doesn't have that cutthroat attitude like, oh, I am something. I'm a Brazilian.
Apart from that, like he's not into like
Yeah. Yeah, he's
late
good.
night. You know,
I've seen not very much of him. I've seen him like twice or thrice.
I'm sure he got the Champions League for his team 2 years ago.
Yeah. But again,
Like that famous game against Manchester City. You know?
I
Obviously,
think they're just trying to
Benzema was
cash
one.
in on the hype that he's a good potential future investment.
Yeah.
That is what La Liga is, Real Madrid is trying to do. If they get 200 million for him, they'll go crazy,
But
right?
to be fair,
100,
I think
150, anything.
Madrid would have gotten a striker rather than getting a winger.
Yeah.
Because Mbappe at the end, he's not a striker, he's a winger. He plays good only when he plays on the left side. You have already Rodrygo, and I don't Rodrygo shouldn't be a sub player. He should be always in the starting 11.
Yeah.
I would love to have him in any of my teams. Any team would love to have this kid, and I really wanted him, me personally, to be pushed and going to to first Manchester City, but I think Manchester City went to Plan B, which is Marmoush now, but he should be a player that like a team can count on. You know what I mean? He's very good. He's very talented.
No
He
news on
plays good with
Marmoush? Did he play again? Did he
he-
score? Sorry, I was not following anything.
No, they lost 5-1 against Chelsea, but
Only?
only only.
That's too low. It should have been 10-11. But yeah, Manchester City losing 5-1 is like, it's like a horrific nightmare.
They haven't.
Don't expect that.
They
right?
haven't been performing that well so far,
Yeah.
but the season's starting to catch up.
Yeah.
For them, they had a very important win against Chelsea. Now they've only managed to be in the top 4.
And this
That's
would
their
be a
main
good
target.
segue into the next story
Yeah.
because City performing bad. Some other people, the Reds, are performing good. And because of the guy who wants a contract and most probably is getting a contract.
So let's move on.
Your guy.
So let's move on to our last story.
Yeah.
Salah reportedly renewed his contract with
Yeah.
Liverpool. That report has not been public officially, but I think the way he's calm, his confidence, I don't think that's a performance of a player that he doesn't know his future at.
Yeah.
Because deeply inside, you would feel where you don't know your next step is and you're leaving. Deeply inside, you'll have that feeling that
Yeah. And it also shows on the field, but it doesn't show on the field, so that means there's 100% clarity.
I'll tell you something in the perspective. Obviously, Gary Lineker is speaking about him being after he left and he went to Japan. He said that he had a conversation with Salah, but he didn't discuss with him his future. He's like, when did you stop playing football? He's like, I left 32 years old and I went to Japan. So he's like, why did you go to Japan? Mainly for the money? He's like, yeah. So Salah was like, I might do the same. So I think,
Nice.
look,
So he's go to Iniesta's club, Kobe.
Rami, the agent of Salah, is a very smart person. A lot of problems happened between him and the Egyptian Federation regarding rights for Salah. He's a very smart person. I like those kind of agents who really takes care of his player.
Yeah.
I think they were playing this game around just to apply pressure to get as much as possible from the club. And I don't mean it in an aggressive way, but it's his right. I'll tell you why. Salah is 32. This is the last good contract he will get in Europe.
Yeah. After that, obviously, he also knows that the time is up.
Yeah. So at the end, like, I know outside 32 is not it's not old, but in football world it's old.
It's not old for Ronaldo.
Well,
He just celebrated his 40th birthday.
Ronaldo's
Did you see
40,
the video?
yeah. But let's see when Salah is 40 what he's gonna do. And you see, the numbers that Salah managed to make in the Premier League is going to be difficult for any other player, not just Egyptian or from
He's
anywhere.
the third top scorer in the league now, right?
He's the
third
top scorer of the league, of the Premier
not,
League. All
this year?
time?
All time is third,
All time, I
guess.
think he's the fifth, sixth.
I saw a list. Yeah, he's in the top 5.
He's the top third for Liverpool, and I think across the league he's the sixth.
Top scorers, yeah. So, yeah, he should stay.
Yeah, his numbers.
I don't know if
numbers.
Liverpool let him go, they'll be the most stupid club.
It's been so long since Liverpool had an icon which is not English. You know? And mainly when you say Liverpool, come in your mind Gerrard.
Oh, yeah, he's number 4.
Yeah, but
So Rooney 208, Andrew Cole 187, Sergio Aguero 184, Salah 178. So he can beat Aguero and Andrew Cole if he stays there for one season. It's just like 8 or 9 goals.
Reportedly, they saying they want to extend his contract to 2028.
That's nice.
That's another 3 years. I think that's.
Well, then the 100% like he'll beat Wayne Rooney as well.
I'm really sorry, but I think Salah has managed to achieve trophies that have not been done by a lot of icons that were on Liverpool. You know, his performance is very high, and he's been he's been performing very well in the last couple of years, especially. So it's very difficult for him to achieve that any other way in that certain age. And I think you have something build up on it.
Yeah,
because that, like, for me, just being an icon anywhere, a legend anywhere, having a statue of yourself in that club, it's gonna make you money till the rest of your life if you're thinking about money.
but to be honest, I have this, like, I know people will hate me for it and you will hate me for it. I have this feeling inside me that this is a good time for Salah to leave as well. Liverpool are nearly winning the title this year. He can go out on a high rather than staying there. What happens next year? City will come back, obviously. City always come back. City will win, or some other club will grow. I don't think this is the start of Liverpool dominance.
No.
So as soon as Salah gets his high, winning a title, just leave.
I think you can do that when you're
Perfect
30.
high.
I think you can do that when you're 35, 36.
Yeah.
But not when you're 32. Look,
But it's just the right moment.
back for players, back in the days for players when they were used to have legends in 2007, 8, 9, that famous Kaká, Nesta, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Figo, you know, that was amazing. Inzaghi, remember those generations where they played the 2006 World Cup? Like, the quality was there around them, wasn't like now. Recovery, doctors, surgeries, having a psychiatrist coach with you, how you're getting to know the AI tools that have been used in the games. The AI has been used in medical for you to know your body and how to grow and how to, like, always has good recovery and reduce injuries. Like, you guys have an availability to have more time on the pitch with a high form. You know what I mean? And like
today we were talking about
if Ronaldo, and to be fair, if Ronaldo and Messi are doing it till their 40s, why Salah can do it? You know what I mean?
Why can't he? He should.
Yeah. So let you. I just want to give you an early congratulations, Salah. You deserve what you deserve, and I wish you a very successful years in upcoming for the Premier League. And let's see that more. And also, my perspective as a person from Egypt, seeing Salah going there and staying there. Marmoush would have not went to City if we didn't have Salah. Okay, we had a lot of Egyptian players go to the Premier League. Mido, Hassam Ghali, many, Ahmad Fathi.
Yeah.
We have a lot of players played.
But no one made
But
it this big, right?
no one made it to be that constant for 7-8 years. City would not get Marmoush if they didn't see the consistency in Salah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
he basically built trust in Egyptian talent.
Everywhere.
That's the thing.
everywhere. Yeah, so very amazing news today, where we see a lot of players like Salah renewing, Rodri moving to Al Hilal. That would be a very banging transfer,
Yeah.
and it's going to be crazy.
I think it would be one of the highlights of this year then, if he goes to Al Hilal.
Well, I
Because
think
he's a big name. He's a nice big name.
transfer window's closed now, and I think Rodrygo.
Mid-season, whenever it opens.
He's a smart player. I'm telling you, it's not. He knows it's not the right move for him. I would love to see him at Al Hilal for sure, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't think he knows it's the right move for him right now.
Yeah.
You know.
It's not, as a kid, but you never know.
You never
They have
know.
their
You
own
never
plans.
know. You never know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Majid. Thank you for being with us
problem.
today. I'm getting you in a short notice. Thank you, everyone, for listening and watching to us. You can watch the full episode on Smashi TV, video, audio, and you can listen to us on your favorite podcast platform, Anghami, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube Music. Stay tuned to watch EDC live exclusive on Smashi TV on Saturday at 5 p.m. Again, as I mentioned, our team will be there on ground. Please share to us on Instagram, Smashi Sports, your favorite driver, where we can get you a close up to him. This was Smashi Sports Show, a Smashi production under the Augustus Media Network podcast. But don't leave us, because after this very short break, we have an amazing interview with the youngest 16 years old drifter, Khalifa Falasi. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Smashi Sports Show. Joining us, a new guest, and actually you're the first guest we have for Smashi Sports Show. Khalifa Falasi, he's the youngest drifter in the Middle East. How are you?
Good. How are you, Hisham?
Do you like people to call you Khalifa or Falasi?
Khalifa is better.
Khalifa's better, huh?
Yes, better name.
How are you, Khalifa?
Alhamdulillah, all good. How are you?
All good?
Yes.
Well, we just catched up with you in EDC.
EDC round 3.
Round 3.
Yes.
First of all, this is the second year for us to cover Emirates Drift Championship, and obviously Khalifa was always there. And just to give you a small shout out why he's here, because he is the youngest drifter, and he's 16 years old. So like 16, like explain to me.
Yeah.
Just explain to me.
You know, a lot of guys go crazy when I tell them I'm 16 years old. You know, like I'm older than many of the guys, the fans there. You know, it's a big burden to carry. And of course, it's a pleasure to be and an honor to be the youngest professional drifter in the Middle East. But what I can say is that, you know, I have no road license. I can drive on the road, but only on the track, drift track.
Okay. So let's go back 5 years maybe, or 8 years. You tell me, how many years have you been drifting? When did you start drifting?
I started, actually, I remember, it was May 5, 2021.
May 5, 2021.
The first day I actually drove a car. It was in the Pro Drift Academy, which is where I learned how to drift in Gawain.
You were 12 years old?
I was 13.
13?
Yes.
Okay. And did you always wanted to be a drifter? Did you have someone to look up into while you love cars?
And the nice story is my father has actually been organizing events since 2015 in the UAE, the Drift UAE Championship.
Okay.
But he's always inspired me and taken me with him to the events, the drift events. And I've always been inspired by those drifters, my role models. And now, you know, it's a pleasure to be racing with these guys that I've always been looking up to, you know.
So you had someone or a special driver or drifter, you saw him and you had him as a role model?
Yeah, so actually the
Share
thing
names.
is, the first guy I remember was Ahmed Daham. Ahmed Daham, he's the Jordanian legend.
Jordania.
Probably the best drifter in the region. And it's now, we're facing him in EDC round 4 next week also.
Okay.
So it will be a very nice experience to get into a battle with him.
You didn't battle with him previously?
Never yet.
I think not the third round, the second round, he had a problem with his car.
He had some technical problems,
and last round, but you haven't been in a battle with him?
Never. I can't wait.
This is gonna be amazing. But you know, like for us as we're streaming partners of Emirates Drifting Championship, we're the operators inside for the full event. Like the way I see you guys like, because I think I'm a driver, okay? I drive since I was like 8, 9 years old, and we drive in Egypt. And trust me, driving in Egypt, it's chaos.
Traffic.
It's chaos. All like in Egypt, or your main target is not to hit the car.
Okay.
And that's similar to drifting because you guys can do whatever you want, but don't hit each other.
Yeah.
What are the technical skills that you guys work on, like basics, like if ABC drifting?
Yeah.
Explain that, like, because mainly out of this episode, I want us to give awareness more of drifting, you know?
Yeah. So the first things I actually learned was in the academy was how to control the throttle. The throttle control. This is more important than the steering actually.
Okay.
Because actually in a drift car, your throttle control is steering your car because the steering by itself and you just adjust. But the throttle is the most important thing. And in the academy, I learned it and I mastered it. And of course, I use some braking, the left foot braking. While I'm on throttle, I use the left foot to slow down the car so that we avoid collision. You know, because if I don't use the brake, we're gonna get into chaos and
that happens.
collision.
That happens of half of a second.
Yeah, so we have a left foot brake and we have a hand brake. The hand brake also to lock the rear wheels so that we don't get into a collision.
Okay, and how does the points actually count for the drift? Is it based on how you guys drift, or how closer to the line you are, or maybe it's the format of the track, or how close you guys? Because if I see there's always, when there's a chase, not a single, when there's a chase, there's always one above the other.
Yes.
But why don't I understand you can't pass the other one if you can drift him through that way?
Yeah, okay. So I'll tell you, the sport of drifting has 3 main components on how to grade your drift. A line, style, and angle. In the Emirates Drift Championship, 40 points were on the line, which is how you enter the zones, how you do a beautiful line. Style is how aggressive you are. If you are on throttle, committed to the throttle, are you going fast? That's 30 points. And then the last 30 points is for angle, which is if you open up the angle of the car. So it's more sideways than going straight. This is another 30 points.
So if you're in front and I'm chasing you, as a chaser in the back, how would I gain more points?
You would gain more points by being closest as possible to the door or the bumper.
Of the other car.
Yes, of the other car. You know? So every single driver has the same mindset, to get as close as possible. That's what makes drifting a nice sport to watch, you know, for the fans. Every driver wants to get as close as possible without making a collision.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Guys, if you watch out the previous rounds, you would find Khalifa, he has so much fans behind him. He was actually throwing gifts, signing
merchandise,
signing T-shirts and throwing. How does that make you feel you're in such an age? Because I played professional football since I was 18. It made me a bit trouble with my school. Maybe I didn't have it. Maybe I wasn't good enough when I stopped football when I was like around 19 years old. I don't wish that for you. But how does it feel for you, like the amount of training you do? Like, because I'm sure you guys train a lot. You guys practice a lot. Obviously, we're going to get into the part of the cars and the trainings and the sponsors and like the spending of those equipments, because like nowadays if you're going to go fix something in your car very small, you're going to pay thousands of dirhams.
It's going to be expensive.
So we're going to move on to this area after, but I want to understand, as 16-year-old, you have your school, obviously. I'm sure your parents, their number one priority is your degree.
Yes.
So how do you accomplish that between you, your lifestyle, your friends, and what kind of sacrifices do you do in order to be committed to the sport?
Yeah, so actually, it's not that easy to balance between everything, you know, because education, of course, is more important because it's going to be my future, 100%. But what I do in drift, I actually have, like the biggest sacrifice I have would probably be sleep. Because I would go to school every day, wake up morning, and education fully focused. And then, of course, I have my homework to do. And then I would go to the track to train. And usually I would train 3 times a week. When I started, 3 times a week, every week, you know, it's a lot if you think about it. But recently, it's the last 2 years of school, I'm training 2 times a week.
Okay.
But in YAS. So I'm more used to the track layout, you know, so for when I practice in EDC.
I think the first round 2, the track was different. Now I think 3 and 4 will be the
every
same.
track is different.
4 will be the same track as 3, I think.
4 will be different.
Will be different than 3.
This one, I'm telling you, is going to be a show because it's a really, really fast layout, this one, last round. the spectators, they were gonna be ready.
In I predict in round 2, you were very close of winning the championship.
Round 2, I got second place.
Yeah, you got the second place.
Yeah.
You were very close of actually winning second place. This is your first time getting a second place in EDC?
Actually, I got it 2 weeks ago, and I got it last season.
Last year?
Yeah,
Okay.
last round 4 of 2024 season.
Okay, perfect. And like over here, we're playing. Oral audience can't see, but if you watch the full episode on Smashi TV, I just want to understand because me personally, like we all love cars, but your car and like the colors of it, what's so special about it? You mixing that green and orange. Obviously, I think the green because it's related to the academy, but you added like a touch of
Red.
orange to it. What's special about your car? And I want to know interiorly, like engine-wise, mechanical-wise, and like the looks-wise also.
Okay, so actually, what inspired my car design for this season was my country,
Okay.
UAE flag. You know, because my country is what I actually represent.
Yes.
It's what my main goal in this sport is to raise my country's flag as high as possible.
And then you have that green light coming.
Yeah, I have the green LED sponsor.
Yeah, obviously.
ProDrift.
Okay.
But I decided to use red, white, black, and green because it's the UAE's
It's the national
flag
flag,
colors.
the UAE.
And
Yes, we have it here
I
behind
try
us.
to always reach and make the UAE the highest of all countries, inshallah.
Yes, hopefully. And let's dive into the part that of people just see the sport easy, of mainly you just get a car, get a cheap car, you pay like 30,000 for it, and you start adding stuff, and that's it, and the job is done, and you drift. But I want to understand from your perspective, what's the hardest part of the mechanical things you have for the car?
You know, a drift car, it has a lot of modifications, a lot of mechanical parts. So you must have a very good mind, because if you do not know what is in your car, or if the car is gonna break, it's not gonna work. So you need to be sure of what equipment is in your car and how to avoid problems with your car, because a small issue can ruin the whole event for you as a drifter, you know. So of course, when I started, I did not have much knowledge in the mechanical aspect of drifting. But as time passes, I'm still getting to know a lot of new mechanical parts in my car, but it actually helped me a lot. So I know exactly how I feel in the car. Is there a problem in the rear, in the front, you know? A lot of details.
What's the most thing you spend money on? I think I know what.
Yes.
Tires.
Tires, صح. Tires are crazy.
Like, how often do you change the tire after like how many round or how many spin?
So in practice, okay, I can change it every, let's say, 4 laps.
Okay, because
Okay.
it's practice.
But once I get into competition, every single battle, every single time I go out, I must swap tires.
4.
Yeah.
4
no,
tires.
no, two. The rear tires.
The rear tires.
Yeah.
Oh, not the front. Oh,
Not the
obviously.
front.
Because your
So,
car is,
yeah.
I don't know how you say in English. دفع خلفي.
Yeah. The rear, it's a rear grip.
Yeah, rear
Mechanically
grip. Yeah,
grip.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, see, guys, everyone needs to understand that drifting has a lot of, money spent.
Expenses.
Expenses
Yes.
behind it. And let's move on back to a part that you skipped where you said the training.
Yeah.
So now you train twice a
Twice.
week, and sometimes you train 3 times a week.
Yeah.
How many hours and is it only you driving with the car, or like now I see there's a lot of athletes, and you're an athlete, obviously it's a very interesting sport. Do you prepare your mindset? Do you have a protocol before driving the car? Because some people would just prefer like listening to music, staying calm, not concentrating on anything. Others would like to have so high like hype and dancing, and some people would just like have a call with someone close to him, just get his mental peace. And others would just, before they sleep, they think about like, tomorrow, this is the track, I'm going to do this, and just imagine it and just sleep with it, and tomorrow you try to fulfill it. So I just want to know your protocols and how like hours you spend on training per week.
So regarding the training, I go twice a week, but I stay 4 hours. Like every time I go maybe 4 or 5 hours, I'll be in the track. And I actually, every single time, I'm with my coach. His name is Mohammed Shahab. He's the manager of the Pro Drift Academy. He has his pro car too. Every single time we go practice, door to door. We try our best to help each other and benefit each other. And you know, because a lot of people might not have the opportunity to practice, you know, because with work. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to capitalize my opportunity.
Right now,
Yeah, by just practice. Of course, education more important, but
obviously, I agree.
yeah. And regarding the protocols, what do I do before I race? I always visualize. I close my eyes and imagine what the track will be in front of me. I imagine where will I go, where will I turn, you know, and I imagine every single aspect in the track, so that when I go out, no anxiety, no stress,
No surprises.
just calm, and
You know what
I
you
know
do.
what's gonna happen, you know.
Yeah, like I truly agree with that. And the sometimes when you're stressed from life, from obviously school's exam, is it actually drifting where you get inside that car and you just start moving the car the way you move it? That just makes you forget about everything.
The moment I start revving the throttle, nothing is outside.
خلاص.
It's just me and the car.
Yes.
Just keep going.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's very amazing because I truly understand where you're coming from because something people just stress out from a lot of things, and when you actually do something that you really love, that just makes you completely out of what you have. But
Yes.
that's also very amazing. And what's your coming expectations for like right now? I think from how you're speaking and what you're seeing, mashallah, you're very knowledgeable. You know your priorities, school, and then you go to the sport that you love. But mainly, what are the objectives that you're trying to seek?
Yeah. So currently, I'm actually competing only in the region. You know, the Emirates Championship. I'm competing in Oman, in Qatar, and Saudi Arabia. But my goal is that by the summer, I'll be competing in Europe.
Okay.
Representing the UAE in Europe. Inshallah, if it happens. Of course, I need the good support from the sponsors to help me through this journey. But our goal is to be competing in Europe. And of course, at the end, how much years? Our goal is just UAE. We want UAE to be number one in the world.
Do you drift outside?
Yet? Outside of the track?
That's a tricky question. Think
Outside of the track?
outside of
No.
no. Okay.
No. I never ever even drove a car outside of the
Yes,
track.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
You'll come all time, and I'm sure you will go to one of the schools. You know,
Yeah.
show them how to drift
License.
there. no, no.
4 months left and I'll get my driving license, hopefully.
4 months left,
Yeah.
and then you
Because
will
now
have-
it's 17, not 18 anymore.
I'm telling you, okay. I got my license in 21 days.
21 days.
21 days.
That's a long
I
time.
did 10 classes because I already have an Egyptian license for 8
Yeah.
years. I did 10 classes, and alhamdulillah, I passed all my tests in just the first round.
That's really good.
It's not easy.
Not easy. Huh?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not easy.
Strict.
It's not a matter of driving, it's about the procedures, the protocols, where to stop, where to stand. I'm sure you're familiar.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well, yeah. Let's move on from this one. let's move on from this part. So you just mentioned that you want to participate in a competition outside Europe. Do you have a specific competition? Because like for the football fans, they would say, "Oh, Champions League, that's the biggest. World Cup, that's
Yes.
the biggest." So is there specific competitions you want to participate in?
Okay. So there is a Champions League, a Champions League in Europe. It's called the Drift Masters European Championship. It is considered the strongest championship in the world, alongside another competition in the US, Formula Drift. But this Drift Master Championship is very, very competitive championship. And I am actually willing to represent the UAE there because the drivers there are just the best in the world. So, you know, putting me and my country with these people
Yes, obviously.
is gonna be a big honor.
Yes, I agree. I agree with you, and I'm sure you will reach that. Starting always early, it gives you an advantage ahead.
Yes.
I know it applies more pressure on you, and I will tell you something that you didn't tell me. We didn't speak about it, but I know how people sometimes look at you that you're 16. You're 16, but that makes you more angry, of not in a bad way, but more of hunger. To prove yourself, and I saw you on the track. I saw how you drift. I saw you in your personal life. You're very calm, and I think that's something that's gonna make you like think before you take any movement. So, if you have someone who's interested to drifting, what do you advise him to start with doing?
Okay, so anyone who's interested, I'll say it my way, and
Okay.
it's the best way, I can guarantee. Come to Pro Drift Academy UAE. We'll teach you how to drift from A to Z. You know, the basics. Either you want to come for just an experience, or you want to learn how to become professional. Everything we have it. The cars, the place, the staff, everything, the tires even. No need to pay for tires. It's all on us.
I think everyone will be just worried about the tires themselves.
So yeah, just come, learn how to drift, and I'm sure you will enjoy it.
All right, Khalifa, thank you so much for this amazing interview. If you have anything you just wanna, this is your main camera. If you have anything for your fans, you wanna give out to them, Khalifa is heading tomorrow. This episode will go live tomorrow. Today is Thursday, and because due to his time that he's going to be traveling to Abu Dhabi, we couldn't have him. We go live every Mondays and Friday at 11 a.m. This is our live show, but Khalifa couldn't be with us on Friday as he has preparations for the EDC. Give out a message to your fans on.
Okay, so hopefully we will see you this weekend in the Emirates Championship, and I want to tell you something: do not miss out.
There we go. Thank you, Khalifa, so much. It's a pleasure having you. Thank you, everyone, for listening to us. You can watch this episode live on Smashi TV on Friday, which is going to be the day that you're going to be listening to me, and also get the podcast on Anghami, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube Music. This was Smashi Sports, a Smashi production under the Augustus Media Network podcast. See you next episode.
See you.